Hi guys, welcome back to Liming with Courtney. Today we're going to discuss last night's season finale of Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was not what I expected. I just think the casting is very poor. I don't think that Drew is a good fit for the show. And Drew is not my favorite person, but if she was at least entertaining, I would have been able to indulge her. But she's just anyway. She has a beautiful little boy by the name of Josiah. He is so intelligent. He says it like he means it. Honestly, like I think they should have cast him instead of his mom, and just have him as a friend of the show because obviously it's Real Housewives. The episode begins with Drew and her husband and Josiah going to meet Daddy, who is Josiah's father. That's where we picked up from last week's episode. The father of Josiah, that's Daddy, he came over an hour late, which I thought was very disrespectful. The little boy, a child's attention span is very limited, so I can understand why the little boy didn't seem too interested when Daddy arrived. And if you're going to be making a genuine effort with your child, I would expect you to be a lot better in terms of your time management skills. And I don't understand why the father was flying out the same nights. You need to spend some time with your child. Anyway, we also saw the dynamic between Kenya and her husband. Kenya's therapist came over the house and they weren't wearing any masks. That's the first thing I realized, but that's just me. And Kenya was talking about how Mark was doing the hot and cold. Ladies, a man can do hot and cold as often or as much as you allow him. And I'm sorry, if we're going through a divorce and you have demonstrated to me that there is no possibility of reconciliation, you will not be staying at my house. And it also confuses poor little Brooklyn, because Kenya said that Brooklyn looked and saw mommy and daddy and she seemed so happy, but it confuses the child. So Kenya, I think you need to just focus on yourself and your baby and just forget about Mark. But that's just my view. I usually don't tell people to leave their relationships, but if it's something that is obviously toxic and it's emotionally draining, I would say yes, you need to go. Oh, Candy was honored by her hometown. I think it's really good what Candy is doing. She's bringing business into the community, and I love to see that black entrepreneurs, that encourages people to build generational wealth and encourages young black persons, young black children to go after their own goals, to start their own businesses. And I think that in that respect, Candy is an outstanding role model. She really is a hustler, and I do admire her for that. We didn't see Marlo this episode. But anyway, so we fast forward now to Cynthia's friend mass. There was actually food at this event, a lot of food. I need to stop watching these episodes when I'm hungry because there was a lot of food. And Cynthia initially told the ladies to purchase a gift at a cost of $100, but then everybody seemed to have had an issue being able to find a gift that cheap. I could have found $100 gift that's really nice, but anyway. So it was increased to $1,000. And Cynthia worked hard with her sister Mallory and her assistant to really just fix up the space. So anyway, the ladies were there, all except Marlo. And I was disappointed that Marlo wasn't there for the season finale, especially if Marlo you want to be seriously considered as an official cast member that is a peach holder. The season finale is not something you should have missed. So Portia and Drew turned up 3.5 hours late. I thought that was extremely disrespectful. I know Drew said in the episode that she was having cramps and that her husband was going to go pick up some strong medication. But when she was talking about her cramps, her face was beat. Like, I don't know how she can get her face well done up and just be there relaxing when she said that she's having such bad cramps. So if your face is already made up, all you have to do is take the medication and put on your dress and then be out the door. She had on some cowboy looking boots with her sparkly dress, and I just don't know. I don't know why she does her face like that in terms of the colors. I don't know, her foundation just always seems a little off. Like, I don't know, it's just off, and her wigs are never anything good. I'm sorry. I just don't like her wigs. Anyway, so she came to the event with her gift, and what the ladies had to do, they had to pick up a number that would determine whether or not they got to keep the gift that they randomly selected, or they could steal someone else's gift. It was a cute little game. Drew just had to ruin the evening. Honestly, I don't feel like talking about her. She came with her horrible wig from the introductory episode when Kenya and that's why we were talking about it looking like an animal. And she also brought a cat carrier, which I actually would have just taken that because I have cats. And she put the wig in there. So you're basically mocking yourself because you're saying that, and you're putting truth to what Kenya and Latoya were saying about your wig, that it was a pet. Like you're just thinking that flipping the joke makes it better for you. I don't know, but it just didn't work. Did not work at all. And Latoya wasn't going to turn up, but she turned up very late. Apparently, she turned up at the worst time because Drew was playing this recording. Yes, Drew was playing this recording of, allegedly, of the Prophet. And Latoya, I just don't understand why Drew is so invested in that relationship. Again, I say you have your own fish to fry, so why are you focusing on Latoya and the Prophet? So yes, so Latoya comes back, and then there's a confrontation between Drew and Latoya. In fact, it was anticlimactic because he thought that there was going to be a lot more to it, but there wasn't. It was not, honestly, it was not Real Housewives of Atlanta's finest moment in terms of a good finale. After the confrontation between Latoya and Drew, because Latoya threw the wig at Drew, I thought I would have heard a meow or something from the wig. Drew and Kenya left. But I should just tell you that when the ladies were opening their gifts, it turned out that Kenya was the one to open Drew's gift. That's with the wig and the cat carrier. They were also laughing after Cynthia's present from Tiffany with a pearl necklace and a bracelet. I don't have a problem with the bracelet. I mean, not every woman likes to wear pearls. I wouldn't necessarily go and get pearls. And when Portia is on the pearl type, it was funny when Portia said that she doesn't wear necklaces, and in production showed shots of Portia in the confessional with necklaces on. So that was a little funny. After Latoya and Kenya left, the rest of the ladies went outside. Whilst they were walking outside, Cynthia was basically like, you need to leave, to Portia, right? And Portia is like, I have been to better lake houses than Lake Bailey, or something to that effect. So she was throwing shade like, oh, you're kicking me out of your house, Cynthia, but I've been to better lake houses. Like, okay. So, you know, I mean, nobody likes to be kicked out of anyone's home, but I think Cynthia was just over it. She's like, I was just trying to plan this fun activity for me and the ladies, and it just turned out to be way more than it needed to be. The ladies went outside and there were carols, and I thought it was nice to have persons singing carols. It's Christmas time. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The group of ladies just didn't seem very refined when they had that reaction to the carolers. It's just like they wanted somewhat twerking or something. I don't know. That's just what it seems the theme of the entire season was twerking and jerking. Shamil was there as well. I didn't mention her because, I mean, she did. She gave a nice present. She gave a Chanel scarf with a brooch, Chanel brooch, which Marlo's proxy, who is Cynthia's assistant, ended up getting. Marlo sent $1,000 in cash. I thought that was funny. It would have been good to like just throw them bills up in the air, but I don't know. The energy just seemed very off. Seemed very, very off, and I just don't know. They need to do some shaking up with the casting. I don't like that Latoya tries to stay away though from confrontation. That's the whole purpose of the show. You're supposed to have these, not necessarily have confrontations with the ladies, but you need to be able to address things on camera. And Latoya just staying away, I think Latoya staying away, she interfered with her chances of probably coming back on the show. For those of you who do not watch Speak on It, you would not have seen Latoya's interview with Candy where she said, listen, people are talking about her coming after Drew because Drew got a peach and she didn't, and Latoya is jealous of that. Latoya claims, and Candy kind of confirmed it, that Bravo execs were considering giving Latoya a peach, but her husband allegedly was reluctant to sign off on the children being featured on the show, and as a result of that, the producers didn't want to give Latoya a peach. I don't know why that would be so, because now Brooklyn's face is being blurred out, so the children not being on the show is not that big of a deal. I know we're supposed to be seeing their lives, as in the ladies' lives, and a part of their lives would be, of course, their children. But that's why I said she has projects and she has a new relationship, so I think the cameras could have followed her. She also said on Candy's Speak on It that she discussed the breakdown of her marriage on camera, but for some reason that wasn't featured in any of the episodes. I don't know. I don't know why production did the editing the way that they did. I think this season left a lot to be desired. I'm not too excited about the reunion, but I will watch it because I've already come this far. I can't turn back now. Anyways, that is it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Liming with Courtney. Bye. Liming with Courtney. Just fine.